Nil Desperandum, fellow internet peoples. This video is going to be sort of a touchstone that I'll link to a lot. It's a quick-ish guide on how to get in contact with your representatives. One of the biggest things we can do to help fight is make ourselves heard in the halls of power and be heard in inconvenient ways. This is why peaceful protest is so often successful in being heard and making a difference, because it's visible pressure. You only have to look at MLK to see that though these protests are often hated by the people in power and even by the public, they work. But if you want something more recent, look at campus protests in spring of 2024. Northwestern University in Illinois agreed to reestablish an advisory committee on investment responsibility and full disclosure of its investment for its endowment funds. Brown University in Rhode Island agreed to vote on divesting from companies that invested in Israel. Rutgers University students in New Jersey forced the university to agree to create an Arab culture center and hire staff and instructors with knowledge of Palestine. And the university is considering the students' request for divestment. Are these perfect outcomes and solutions? No. But the students moved the needle and brought attention to a problem. Now, I don't live anywhere near a protest site, and like many others, I work. And for many people, missing work to protest can be a hard balance between our morals and paying bills. And oftentimes, there isn't a physical protest for some of these topics, or at least not one near us. But that doesn't mean we can't get our voices heard. The best way to do this is to reach out and communicate with our representatives. Most activists I've read recommend contacting your officials in ways that make it hard for the staff to ignore your voice. Odds are your message won't be directly heard by a senator or congressman, but their staff is going to have to see it. And if enough people are talking to them, that message is going to get through, even if it's just the annoyance of having to deal with the incoming messages. The trick, though, to being heard is to once again be hard to ignore. So in a perfect world, you want to reach out via either phone or actual physical mail. If you've ever worked in an office, an email is much easier to quickly dismiss than having to listen to an entire voicemail or open and read a physical letter. That said, a large number of emails coming in can make a difference, and an email is still expressing your voice. So how do you get in touch with your representative when you have something to say? Fortunately, the federal government has made this somewhat easy. You go to this website. You enter your address and it lists your federal, state, and local county government officials and their contact information. There is a small risk that some of the information is wrong, particularly at the state level. If you are unsure, just look it up at the state level at your state legislature. Typically, a quick Google search will find your state or local government's homepage. Most of them have ways to look up your district information. One thing I've seen over and over again recommended by activists is the importance of addressing one topic at a time. So each phone call, letter, email you send focus on one topic, whether that is a constitutional amendment to make the president not a king or for abortion rights. This doesn't mean you can't be in touch every day with a new topic if you have the ability, but keep your topics separate. When I talk about specific topics, I will try to provide copies of the scripts or letters I'm choosing to use to reach out to my representatives, because I know from experience, figuring out what to say ahead of time is hard. Having a script or at least bullet points can make the call more coherent and more powerful. And there's nothing wrong with stealing writing points for these letters from each other. And remember, the point is to reach out as much to the representatives who disagree with you as the ones who agree with you. In the case of the representative who agrees with you, you are giving them and their staff encouragement and support. And for the ones who disagree, odds are you're not going to change your mind, but at least they know you're out there and that they need to pay attention. So internet friends and acquaintances, once again, sing and dance every chance you get at Nil Desperandum.